My name is Stetson Hall. First moved to Santo June 10th of 2022. So my life before Christ, without going into too many details, was, I guess you could say I was addicted to the hokey pokey and needed to turn myself around. I was always striving for recognition. I was selfishly trying to build something, build my own kingdom in my own way without the help of God or basically anybody else around me. I lived a life of doing what I wanted and without regard for others. And along that way, I hurt a lot of people. So along that path of living the way I wanted to, I guess the first time Christ really showed his face, I stopped at Railway Coffee one day, and the Thursday group of men, which is comprised of Mark Tackett, Joe Ray Snow, Scott Mooney, Doc Long, and Chris Weaver, were sitting out front. I just stopped to get a coffee, and for some reason I was gravitated towards that table. I sat down with these men, probably was there for an hour and a half, told them a lot about my story, and at that point they I don't know what they saw or realized about me, but we all bowed our heads in prayer, and each one of these men that I rarely knew or barely knew prayed for me openly in front of me. And that was the moment that something started to change. So at that time, I was at a state in my life where I knew a lot of things needed to change, or I was going to start losing the things that really mattered to me. One being Lauren, which is now my wife. I knew if I didn't change for myself, that things were not going to be the way they needed to for our family. That was probably the most important thing. Next was my family, rebuilding those relationships and apologizing for things that I'd done. So I started to notice things were starting to change after I met with the group of men and they started praying for me, and I started attending that group along with two other groups regularly. So 3 groups a week, along with going to church every Sunday when I could. I started to notice, some subtle changes that were happening in my life. I was sharing my problems and things with people that were very intelligent and had a lot of wisdom. And one being Mark Tackett. He said, why hold on to the things that drag you down? So it was, I know that was God speaking to me on the things I needed to shed in my life to get closer to God and to start to do things for others, not be so selfish in my ways. So looking back, I don't think there was ever a defining moment of like, hey, right now is when you need to start doing something different. There was a day that, everything kind of came to a halt. And shortly after that, Chris brings me a Bible. And I did a section out of the rejuvenation studies. Also went to, did a study group led by Lee Scott, the Wild at Heart. Yep. So it was a slow build up to, hey, you're headed in the right direction, and started to hear the Holy Spirit speak to me a lot, as what I needed to do with my life and the things I needed to get rid of and the things I needed to keep and just the people I needed to be surrounded by all the time to have that accountability and to know that I was moving in the right direction. So after Jesus really started to work on me, it was at that time that I proposed to Lauren, and I sold my business, or majority of it, and that allowed us to do the things that we needed to do. Marrying her was by far the greatest day of my life, next to the birth of my child. From then on, it started to build until today. So the reason I'm getting baptized today is my journey is only just beginning. Because of God, I got a second chance. Because of God, I gained trust back from people that love me. And because of God, the people that love me the most are still here. I'm getting baptized today because there are people out there just like me that need to hear my story. And I know somewhere in my journey from here, there's going to be somebody just like me that I could help. I'm not here to wash away my past, but I'm here to cleanse my past and to kind of start fresh, with God in my corner. So.